A love story set in a dystopian near future where single people are arrested and transferred to a creepy hotel. There they are obliged to find a matching mate in 45 days. If they fail, they are transformed into an animal and released into the woods. I watched the lobster. It's hilarious and weird, and all the characters are somewhere on the spectrum between autism and sociopathy. Erased by A1 Pictures, manga adaptation. Satoru Fujinuma is a 29-year-old manga artist struggling to make a name for himself following his debut. But that was not the only thing in his life that Satoru was feeling frustrated about. Ellipsis. He has a unique supernatural ability of being forced to prevent deaths and catastrophes by being sent back in time before the incident occurred, repeating time until the accident is prevented. One day, he gets involved in an accident that has him framed as a murderer. Desperate to save the victim, he sends himself back in time only to find himself as a grade schooler 1 month before fellow classmate Kaio Hinazuki went missing. Satoru now embarks on a new quest to save Kaio and solve the mystery behind her disappearance. Don't you love it when manga authors put themselves right in there? So it's basically Baby Hitler Killer, the superhero detective, starring self-insert mangaka. Luck and Logic by Doug Kobo. It's original in LC922. I love it when they make up dates. It's great. People face a sudden crisis. In Tetra Heaven, the land of legend, 100 years of war has come to a close. The gods who lost the war searched for a new place to live and found it in Septhithia, the human world, which they proceeded to attack. The Logicalists, attached to ALCA, a special police agency whose duty it was to protect cities from assaults by foreigners, were compelled to act in defense of cities, whether they wished to or not. And depending on their ability, Logicalists could initiate trance with goddesses from the other world and stand a fighting chance on the battlefield. A civilian named Yoshichika Tsurugi, who lacked logic and lives happily with his family, was caught up in an attack and took shelter along with many people. He meets a beautiful goddess named Athena. In her hands, she had the logic that Yoshichika lacked. Now both Yoshichika and Athena head to their destiny. I think the writer of this probably could have used a logical list. Dagashi Kashi by Feel. It's a manga adaptation. Shikata Kokonotsu's father owns a rural sweet shop, and his plan is for Kokonotsu to take it over one day. However, Kokonotsu wants to be a manga author instead. One day in summer, the cute but weird girl Shidare Hotaru from the famous sweets company comes to pay a visit. Apparently, Kokonotsu's father is famous and she wants him to join her family's company. However, he will only agree if she can convince Kokonotsu to take over the family business. So far, we're 2 for 2 for manga adaptations with self-insert mangaka characters. Is this going to be the meme of the season? Meme of the season? Season memes? By the way, if you look at, she's got lobster claws. Look at that. Ayo Kana, For Rhythm Across the Blue by Gonzo, visual novel adaptation. The story is set on an archipelago of 4 islands far south of Japan or even the South Seas. It is all but a different world from modern Japan. From the discovery of anti-gravitons came the dream invention of anti-graviton shoes that let people fly the skies. They introduced people to a new realm by enabling flight with just one's own body strength, without feathers or engines. This led to the rise of the sport of flying circus. The protagonists, who once hoped for a future in the sport, suffered a setback due to an overwhelming defeat. What a pussy. And withdrew from the sport for this and some other reason. However, he met the transfer student Asuka Kurashina, and in teaching her to fly the skies, the old passion returned. He takes part in the flying circus once again. This is like some sci-fi Harry Potter wizard technology shit. Man, I'd be like Zap motherfucker. Zap. Myriad Colors Phantom World by Kyoto Animation. Light novel adaptation. The story takes place in the near future in a world born of human imagination. What humans would call ghosts or monsters appear, and they come to be called phantoms. The main character, Haruhiko Ichijo, is a first year at Hosei Academy, along with his upperclassman Mai Kawakami, who fights phantoms with the ability Spirit of Five Elements. Izumi Reina, who has the ability Phantom Eater, and Koita Minase, who fights phantoms in solitude. They experience the ups and downs of high school life before a certain incident leads them to the truth of this world. A synopsis is boring when they gotta end it with, like, hinting at a twist. I'll give it a shot because it's KyoAni, but, sounds boring. Saijaku Muhai no Bahamut by Lurch, a light novel adaptation. Lux, a former prince of an empire named Arcadia that was overthrown by a rebellion 5 years earlier. Lux accidentally trespasses in a female dormitory's bathing area, sees the kingdom's new princess Lisart naked, and incurs her wrath. Lisart then challenges Lux to a drag ride duel. Drag rides are ancient armored mechanical weapons that have been excavated from ruins all around the world. Lux used to be called the strongest drag knight, but now he's known as the undefeated weakest. What a great name. Because he will absolutely not attack in battle. After his duel with Lisart, Lux ends up attending the female-only academy that trains royals to be drag knights. This is there a how to write light novels guidebook or something that you can just copy? Like, draw one circle, draw a line through the circle, here's your light novel. Starts with accidental nudity, has a generic protagonist who is the strongest at all the battles, stumbles into a harem. This is like every other light novel adaptation I've ever. Schwarzmarken by Linden Films, light novel adaptation. The events in Schwarzmarken take place in 1983. The East German Army 666th TSF Squadron, Schwarzmarken, are a special forces unit tasked with assaulting beta forces through unconventional tactics. Specifically, they target Lux. Lux again? Who's this Lux fella? And Magnus Lux. Is that the meme? Is that the meme of this season? Lux? They target Lux and Magnus Lux to deny the beta the advantage of ranged firepower. Their orders are given the topmost priority, such that it is common practice for the 666th to ignore allied distress calls that will result in deviation from the original mission, even if only for a short moment. The 666th Squadron mostly operate MiG-21s with their squadron commander Iris Dina Burndart piloting the MiG-21 PF, like anyone cares. 1983, like Flashdance, Duran Duran, German army full of girls piloting mechs. Obviously, this is about Nazi generals in South America calling up their secret Satan-worshipping high school squad, quietly killing people who know about their war crimes with 10-story mecha. Prince of Stride Alternative by Madhouse, a visual novel adaptation. The series revolves around a closed-down Stride club at Honin Academy. First-year high school students Takaru Fujiwara and Nana Sakurai attempt to restart the club, but they must recruit 6 members for the team. They ask Riku Yagami to join, but he turns them down by saying that stride is the one thing he doesn't want to do. However, Takaru and Nana drag Riku into the club room and try to convince him. Plot sounds a lot like Free! Exclamation mark. I don't know. It looks like they're running on the poster, so I'm assuming stride is just a dumb way of saying it's a track team. No, what am I saying? This is a visual novel adaptation, so stride is probably teleporting into other people to murder them from the inside. I know how visual novels work. Haruta and Chika by PA Works, adapted from a novel series. Two high school students named Haruta and Chika are the members of a wind instrument club that is on the verge of being shut down. The two are childhood friends and they spend their days practicing hard while also trying to recruit new members. When a certain incident happens, within their school, they work together to solve it. Her face is really, I mean, you would never want to see this face running at you like it is in this poster. She's an eldritch horror. Ajin by Polygon Pictures, manga adaptation. For high schooler K and for at least 46 others, immortality comes as the nastiest surprise ever. Sadly for K, such a feat doesn't make him a superhero. In the eyes of both the general public and governments, he's a rare specimen who needs to be hunted down and handed over to scientists to be experimented on for life. A demi-human who must die 1,000 deaths for the benefit of humanity. This is pretty edgy, although I guess it depends on the audience. Some people would be really into a world where we experimented on immortal humans instead of,
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りしました。
Active Raid by Production IMS. It's an original set in a part of Tokyo that has descended into a quagmire. The story follows Unit 8 of the 5th Special Public Security Section's 3rd Mobile Assault Division, popularly called the 8th because they're the 8th unit of the 5th Special 3rd Mobile Public Assault Security Division Section, who don powered armor, will wear exoskeletons to counter the rise in crime. Assistant Inspector Asami Kazari is assigned to the 8th with the task of assessing the unit's status and reporting it to her superiors, but her true goal is to rehabilitate this sloppy, haphazard, justiceless group. So it's like a cop drama. I mean, you don't see many cop dramas in animes, in the animus. Could be good. Girls Beyond the Wasteland by Project Number 9, a visual novel adaptation. A lot of those this season. In this story, Buntaro is a student who wants to be something, but doesn't know what. One day, his female classmate, Tsuyuki, announces she is working on a Bishoujo game. Tsuyuki scouted him because he wrote a good script for the drama club, but Buntaro doesn't know anything about Bishoujo games. I mean, I am always interested in stories about people doing creative things. So I guess I'm somewhat interested seeing how they handle creating Bishoujo games. If you don't know what a Bishoujo is, that's a pretty girl. Pretty girls. So it's like I think they're just harem things where you talk to girls. I'll be happy if this can last like a single episode without the characters devolving into the Bishoujo harem game that they're making. BBK/BRNK by Sanzegin. It's an original. When Azuma Ikki returns to Japan after 10 years, he gets assaulted by a group of armed men and becomes their prisoner. Kogane Asabuki, a childhood friend, saves him with a weapon on her right hand known as Babuki, a weapon with its own mind. Azuma Ikki, who is a Babuki user himself, learns about these existence of Babuki and goes on a journey alongside the companions he has found in an attempt to find and revive oh my oh my oh my a Buranki who sleeps underground. Um Something about these characters look really creepy. Are they? Yeah, they're 3D. They're 3D. Well, I mean, some parts look 2D. I suppose they drew over in some places. But then there's these other spots with like terrible shadows on their hands is really obvious. I mean, if it's as creepy Uncanny Valley as this on this still image poster where they're actually trying to make it look good, then the series itself must be like super Uncanny Valley. Uncanny Quicksand. Dimension W by Studio 3 Hertz, manga adaptation. In the year 2071, the world's energy problems seem solved by a network of cross-dimensional electric field inductors called coils that extract energy from a seemingly infinite source. That source is the W dimension, a fourth plane that exists. You guys. The fourth dimension is time, guys. That exists beyond the X, Y, and Z dimensions. In this world, unofficial illegal coils harness powers that the police can't hope to counter. Dealing with these coils is the job of coil-hating repo man Kyoma, whose run-in with the unique coil android Mira leads the two to form a reluctant partnership. Yeah, someone needs to like send one of those logicalists to inform this writer about time and that you just can't just get infinite energy out of a plane. That doesn't make sense. I mean, seriously, string theory?
Hi, I'm Michelin Kakio, and I say there are 26 dimensions.
Why 26?
Because I only know English letters.
That's my Michio Kaku impression. It's really good. Kono Subarashi Sekai ni Shuku Fuku Wo! Exclamation mark by Studio Dean, light novel adaptation. Kazuma Sato is a hikikomori, diehard fan of games, anime, and manga. A traffic accident brings him his disappointingly brief life to an end, or it should have, but he wakes up and sees a beautiful girl who introduces herself as a goddess. Hey, I have some good news. Would you like to go to an alternate world? You may only bring one thing you like with you. He responds, so I'll bring you. With that, he's transported to another world, and his great adventure subjugating the Demon King begins, ellipsis. But first, the hard work of finding food, clothing, and shelter begins. Kazuma wants to live in peace, but the goddess raises one problem after another, and then the Demon King's army has his eyes set on him. I'm already not believing this character. It's totally unrealistic that a hickey would, be such a suave motherfucker taking all the anime bitches. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, stupid light novel guy. Reikenzen Hoshikuzu Tachi no Utage by Studio Dean, novel adaptation. Since its founding in the year 4233 of the 9 provinces calendar. Is that a real calendar? If that's not a real calendar, I don't know if this is in the past or in the future. Am I looking at like a future laser sword or an ancient magical sword? There's no way to tell. There's no way to tell without time. The Spirit Sword clan, Spirit Sword, magical sword. Okay, it's in the past. Has been producing first-class martial arts talent. 2,000 years later, like it matters, the clan, which adheres to the principles of peace and spiritual development, seeks to find new disciples by holding a grand tournament. One of these candidates is 12-year-old Wang Lu. I really enjoy that so much of the synopsis was filled with unimportant dates. Really gets to the heart of historical stuff, You know what I'm saying? It really like feels historical without being even slightly historical, just because it has lots of dates. It's like I'm reading a history book, except I'm not learning anything or enjoying it. Rilu Rilu Ferulu Yosei no Door by Studio Dean again. It's an original. Ferulu are fairies of flowers, insects, mermaids, or other entities that are born from Ferulu seeds. Each Ferulu is born with their own key, and they must search to find and open the door that fits only their key. Once the Ferulu pass through the doors, they mature. The doors are also related to the human world. So this is a Sega slash Sanrio franchise project, quite obviously aimed at young girls. And I'm gonna bet that this whole key door thing is like a moral virtues to live your life by thing. Or the fairies represent penises and the doors are hymens. That works as well. One or the other. I don't know. Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju, the fourth and final Studio Dean project of this season. It's a manga adaptation. First story revolves around a mature prisoner who was released on good behavior during Japan's Showa Genroku era, which is the 1960s to early 70s. He is called Yotaro by others, a term that means an anti-hero or a dim-witted man. When he returns to society, he starts a new life in Rakugo, comic storytelling. Touched by Yakumo's role as the Grim Reaper, he asks the master to take him in as an apprentice. So despite this being the fourth series of the season by Studio Dean, they're just, shoveling out crap. This probably could be crap, but it sounds alright on paper. I'll give it a shot. Pandora in the Crimson Shell Ghost Urn by Studio Gokumi. It's a manga adaptation. In an age when large-scale natural disasters frequently happen all over the world, you mean like today? Cyborgs and autonomous robots are beginning to appear on the market in technologically advanced nations, kind of like today, and major world powers compete for technology and resources, like every year ever. The divide between rich and poor grows, and the future for the poor looks bleak. Yeah. In this transitional stage, everyone wanders around in a self-indulgent daze, and the way out isn't clear. Ellipsis. This is the story of how two cybernetically enhanced girls meet. So, it's a world where technology is removing jobs faster than governments can respond to the new realities of society. A society that ultimately needs more welfare and guaranteed living standards to compensate for the human costs of progress, but obviously is having trouble putting forward the types of socially progressive laws they need due to interference by the increasingly wealthy minority of super rich who are gaining a huge benefit by maintaining the current system. This sounds like a really interesting and relevant sci-fi. I mean, if it weren't for the fact that only the last sentence of this synopsis, this is the story of how two cybernetically enhanced girls meet, is actually going to be used. And now we have the short animes that are like 5 minutes, 7 minutes. And this is where the real interesting synopsis is come from. The good stuff. The things that make you believe and hope in imagination and originality and purity. What? Oji-san and Marshmallow by Creators Impact Tokyo. It's a manga adaptation. Story centers around Kusaka, an older man who loves marshmallows, and Wakabayashi, an OL office lady who loves Kusaka. The manga follows as their relationship unfolds at their office. This looks cute as fuck. Goddamn. And see, this is the experimental stuff you only see in the short series. No high schoolers. He's got a chubby dude as the main character. When have you ever seen that? It's even got the ultra rare female chub right there. So rare. Please tell me! Exclamation mark Galco-chan by Feel. Manga adaptation. The everyday lives of three high school girls who are close friends. Galco, Otako, and Ojo. Galco is a slightly foul-mouthed but good-natured girl who is popular in her class. Her hobby is film appreciation. Otako is a girl who sits in the corner of the classroom but for some reason is good friends with Galco. And Ojo is an airheaded girl who often talks with Galco and Otako. So, I mean, this one is in a high school and it's about trope girls. But I mean, look at all the experimentation going on here. You got your ultra rare chubs again and obesity epidemic. Secco Boys by Linden Films. An original. Secco Boys is a unit of 4 stone figures. The military saint and group leader Saint Giorgio, history's original celebrity Medici, the strikingly handsome and multi-talented Hermes, and the god of war Mars, who is earnest about love, who become idiosyncratic idols. The story depicts their efforts to make it in the entertainment world with their female manager Miki Ishimoto, who just graduated from college. And this looks
Aesthetics.
This looks aesthetic as fuck. Goddamn. Maho Shoujo Nante Mui Desakara by Pine Jam. It's a manga adaptation. Yuzuka Hanami is a young girl who has few friends, but who can do anything. One day, Yuzuka gets accosted by a strange creature named Mitan, who is digging through a trash dump. Mitan tells Yuzuka, "You have the makings of a magical girl," and seems extremely suspicious. When Yuzuka is suddenly transformed into a magical girl, she's wearing a bathing suit. I suppose that since it's a short and that this is supposed to be a magical girl show parody, but I mean, really, how can you tell the difference? Sushi Police. This is original. With the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games around the corner, there's also a worldwide sushi boom! Exclamation mark. But what to do with all the bastardized sushi out there? The Japanese government's urgent response is to team up with other ruling powers around the world to establish the World Food Culture Conservation Organization, WFCO. To protect and promote authentic local cuisine. And so the WFCO deploys its 9th Division of the 8th Unit of the 4th to oversee Japanese cuisine abroad. The 9th Division, aka Sushi Police, is notorious for their aggressive conduct, and they hassle anyone serving unauthentic Japanese food in the US, Russia, France, China, etc. They will resort to any means necessary to eliminate bad sushi. Soon they are despised by restaurant proprietors around the world. Well, that's neat. It looks cool. Sounds interesting. There was no video for the previous season because there was like no goofy synopsises to have fun with. The most bland, boring, cliche season in recent memory. I mean, is there any more cliche of a season than one with a terrible spin-off and an overhyped, lame shonen shit and yet another Monogatari? The only good thing to come out of that season was some more Haikyuu. Digimon Adventure Tri came out. It was originally announced as a series, but then they said it was a movie, but then it came out as a movie split up into a series. The production values were very much not a movie. It was typical Toei TV quality crap. The plot was just the default. Something happens, Digimons are back in the world, bring back Digimon, fight big Digimon fight, go. With some incredibly forced melodrama where Taichi doesn't want to fight because he might hurt more phones, I guess. Who the fuck cares, bitch? I mean, yeah, before you write in, I got that the phones were stand-in for a person, but why not have a person then? I thought this was like the Digimon for people who grew up watching Digimon and were adults now. Why are they why are they replacing a hurt person? They don't even have to kill the person. They could if they want to be edgy, like they're trying. You could have a hurt person instead of a hurt phone. It's just so dumb. They keep showing a picture of a phone. Oh my god, the phone. Is that phone alright? Oh my god. Yeah, Ty, you shouldn't. You should really struggle. It could have been an iPhone. It could have been your iPhone. They've done that old tired questioning whether it's worth fighting bullshit so many times. We know they're gonna fight. We're adults. We know this is Digimon. The Digimon are gonna fight. There's no point. I know Tai Chi is gonna fight. He's gonna go Agumon go, and they're gonna fight, and he's gonna turn into Omnimon or double Omnimon. And on top of that, they dropped in a bunch of fangirl bullshit where they hint at pairings the whole time. Like that one season of Digimon we don't talk about anymore. Dropped in a new character just to fill out the female quota because they only want to do straight pairings, despite the only convincing pairing that they hinted at in the whole dumb thing was Tai Chi and Matt. What do you call that? Matchi? Tai Matt? Taito? Taito. I think it's Taito. Like the games company. Oh, and I still hate the same face character designs they did. It's just terrible. It's so terrible. There's some fun moments in this, but it wasn't good. Certainly not worth all the egg clicking they made A do to get it. Shokugeki no Soma, aka Food Wars, was pretty cool. I enjoyed their take on food stuff. It's like my second favorite food manga anime after this gourmet detective manga called Kiwitan. I read that a while ago. I mean, Food Wars could really use better pacing, I think. Seeding the reveals properly. Food Wars makes a big deal of like revealing stuff. Like it's a special attacks, but with food. They're gonna reveal the special attack at the most epic moment. Except they don't seed the reveal enough. They really could have learned a lot if they went and read this gourmet detective manga, because that's what you need. I mean, detective things, you seed the reveal, and they just didn't seed it enough for any of the reveals to really matter that much. They just kind of dump them all into the scenes where they're tasting the foods, like revealing, I use apple juice to flavor these apples to prevent them getting soggy. Except, I mean, we had no idea he had an issue of the apples getting soggy. So why it wasn't an important reveal? They could have shown that beforehand in some way that this is a problem that needed to be solved. Then it would have been an actual reveal that you could be impressed by. But they just do it afterwards, and it's not interesting. I liked it, but it could have been a lot better. There's a bunch of extreme disappointments. In the last time I did a video, I was gonna watch detective show Laplace, but it was so cliche and dumb. I mean, it was supposed to be based on the works of some famous mystery writer, but I mean, unless he's famous for being terrible, they didn't do a good job. And there was Gangsta, which was not Gangsta. That's just not Gangsta. That's not Gangsta Pimp. And it was 2015, and the anime to watch, you guys know I love Ori Monogatari, and Maria the Virgin Witch was a great surprise. And there was Prison School, which for me is anime of the year. With Prison School and Maria the Virgin Witch, it was a very lewd year. I mean, on the surface of it, it's a tits and ass show with a plot ripped straight out of softcore porn, and that's not wrong. I mean, that is what it is. However, it's also extremely engaging. It's got this detail-oriented plot with the problems and the plans and the execution of the plans to solve these problems by these characters creates the same kind of engagement that you'd get from like Breaking Bad is like the closest thing I can think of. And it's funny too. Like Breaking Bad. I mean, this is probably, yeah, Prison School is probably the closest thing in anime that you will ever get to a Breaking Bad, given that Japan absolutely will not touch drug subject matter. It's the lewd Breaking Bad. Say my name. What's my name? Say my name.